Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJ. And, guys, today we're going to talk about the best, how do I say it? Maybe probably one of the best topics. But look, and this topic is going to be about your rental property management software. So, typically, as new investors, we want to actually get in and actually manage the properties ourselves. Um, and majority of the time, some people don't want to pay for a property manager. And hey, that's 100% fine. I know people who have 10, 20, 30 properties and they're managing all those properties themselves without any issue whatsoever. So, but today, I know that when you guys are actually getting into investing, a lot of people then try to figure out, okay, what's the best property management software? And some people are like, oh, is it worth paying $7? Is it worth paying $20 per month? Is it worth paying $50 per month? Or is it really worth paying the $100 per month for a lot of these rental property software that are out here? And sometimes the short answer is typically depends. Depends on what you're using the software for, depends on the flexibility, and depends on what your tolerance is. So, but today I want to discuss on, and I also want to show you guys basically how you can actually create your own maintenance software for free, and also another free version where you can actually list your properties. I believe you can also do the same thing in the other platform I'm about to show you guys. But this is also one of the things about actually being IT, because me being IT, I tend to have a way where I can actually, if I want to create something myself, and actually have the patience to do so. But I will say this can really take you like a day. It could probably take you less than a day, and it's really straightforward. It's really easy. It's nothing too much. So let's kind of get right to it. Incognito mode. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the three platforms that you guys should be very familiar with. And those three platforms are going to be TransUnion SmartMove, Jira, and Stessa. Now, the main one is going to be Jira. That's going to be the one where we're going to actually create your actual maintenance ticketing system easy with no charge at all. So what we're going to do here is I want to introduce you guys to Stessa and TransUnion first. So with TransUnion SmartMove, mind you guys, I am not sponsored by any three of these companies. This is typically what I use, especially when I first started getting into real estate investing. I wanted to cut costs, and me knowing I'm in IT, I wanted to actually figure out a way to not pay for software that I know I'm probably gonna use maybe like once or three times per week, right? Especially for new investors. Like, like new investors who are coming in and they have less than 10, 20 properties. This is, I was just say, like, investors coming in to have less than 10 properties. Let me just say that. This is kind of one of the most smarter moves. This is one of the smarter moves. I understand, like, if you start now to figure out ways you can kind of like save your money in different ways, then you're going to have a very long, successful road. All right. So TransUnion Smart Move is typically specifically a platform I use to actually screen all my tenants. So typically how it works is if I just go ahead, just a simple login, I'll show you guys how it typically works. It's going to ask me for my PIN. This is a random PIN that's going to expire within 30 minutes. By the time I post this video, it's going to be more than 30 minutes. All right, so it's really straightforward. Who do you want to pay for your trading, the tenant or you? Majority of the time, my application fees are usually $30. Since I'm doing Section 8 tenants, I really just ask for your criminal background, and that's even if the old tenant puts the eviction report on your credit. But I usually choose, I won't want to pay for the, I personally would pay for the screening, but I will only do this option once I collect the application fee. So once the application fee starts coming, that's typically what I would actually send to the tenant themselves, so they don't gotta come out of pocket and pay this and then pay like $5 later. So I usually charge $30 for my application fee, and I just use the actual Smart Check Basic, because majority of the time I just want to see, what's your credit, what's your base credit score. I really couldn't care. Um, I do care, sorry, but just I just want the base. I don't really want a full credit report. I just want something very simple, and then your credit report also shows you the type of person you are. Just letting you know that too. So, and also your criminal report as well too. Um, Not to say that you being a murderer is going to disqualify you. I know for other landlords it does disqualify them. For a lot of people, I always believe in giving second chances. So always remember that. So usually I would just click select, and then I would say, hey, we're living at 13 Pennsylvania Avenue. If you guys know, you know what I mean? Like if you know the avenue and you know where that's at, then you know where that's at. So you send in an email and then boom. So as soon as you send this, right, you confirm the screening, and as you can see, your card is not going to be charged until the applicant actually finishes the process. So once you put in your credit card information here, your debit card information, it's going to send this to the tenant. Now, it doesn't mean that, okay, once the tenant clicks on get started, it's going to charge you. No. When the tenant actually sits back, completes everything, puts in their information, tax, social security number, that it completes everything and sends it off to TransUnion SmartMove, that's exactly when it's actually going to charge you. So, looking at this, this is what I use to actually go ahead and actually like screen my tenants. Now, getting to Stessa. So Stessa is another platform, whereas they is a free property management software. And I will tell you, you can list unlimited properties. Let's just take a look at the pricing, right? So I can show you. Literally, you can list unlimited properties. You can collect online rent collections for free. It has its own tenant screening, but that's not for free. Now, you guys would like to see what's inside of here, right? All right, cool. We're gonna sign in. So when you sign in, I like to sign in with Google. Google makes it very easy, straightforward, very simple. If I remember my password, which I hope I remember my password right. It would be wrong to not to remember your password for a software that's very easy to just sign in. Anyways, this is something I kind of just built real quick. This is like a demo version I built for you guys to kind of see what is typically going on. So as you guys can see, this is my dashboard. So basically on here, there's no like rent collection because I just put this here. So what you have here is 1301 U Street Northwest, Washington, D.C. This is a 63 unit apartment multifamily complex. I do not own this complex, but this is just for a example view. Now, what you can do, you actually go in here and you can list this as your property. Oh, sorry, you can start listing your properties. And what you can do is you can have this as like, this is like your tracker and your tracker is basically going to help you to actually, when you, how do I say it? When you actually implement your properties in here, you can also put who is actually attached to this specific property, who is the tenant, first and last name. Now, back to the screening, it also does have a screening where you can actually screen your tenants. But if you really want to screen your tenants, I tell you the truth, screening your tenants will cost you an additional fee. Now, it does say applications are free, but screening starts at $29. Now, this is kind of like, how do I say it? This is like The funny part about it. Now, you could do, no, you could say you could forget using TransUnion SmartMove, right? Because with this one, it actually does pull your credit report, income verification, and background check, and you can literally just go ahead and get started. It's going to charge you $29. You select your property, do the application, so on and so forth, right? Now, but you do also have the application plus screening, then you do have an option. But here's the thing about this is that no matter what, you're going to still end up paying $29 because it's not only just the application, but it's also, as you can see here, screening is $29. You can do screening only, but application is application and screening. Think about that. Then you have your cash management. Your cash management is basically the part where you get to manage and see all your online rent collections coming through. So when me and personally, I am all my tenants are through the Housing Choice Authority. So all of them are actually the government is putting the money directly into my account. Now with tenants, tenants are going to have to pay their own portion. But with this specific property management software, you can actually collect the online collections through them seamlessly. Now, here comes the most important factor of them all, which is the maintenance. This is the reason why we're actually building this software. So as you can see, maintenance is going to run you a total price of $28. Sorry, $35 per month. That is how much maintenance is going to run you. But why do we want to pay for maintenance when we can build it for free? So, what is maintenance? If you take a look here, maintenance, they're going to say, okay, create a task, title, description, category, priority, property in the unit, and then submit it. Shows you this. Now, yes, it is all in one platform. I understand that. Now, if you do want to go with this option, like I said, it's only $28 something per month. But if it was me personally, I wouldn't pay $28 per month to use Stessa. Instead, I would literally just go ahead and use Rent Ready. If you guys don't know about Rent Ready, once again, I am not sponsored by any one of these companies, but I will go with Rent Ready. I've seen their demo. You can actually try their demo for free and go ahead and actually just see how it is. And it's literally the same thing. That's another one. But we want to cut cost. So we don't want to pay for anything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually end up showing you guys how to build your own platform through what again? Through Jira. So with Jira, this is going to be fun. Let me tell you what, this is just going to be amazingly fun because Jira is actually the platform that you actually want to build with when it comes to your maintenance requests and you not being a slumlord, because what you're going to do is with this specific software that you're building, sorry, not software, but tracking system, you are not going to be a slumlord. No more slumlords. Nobody's going to be a slumlord. You're going to actually take care of your tenants. You're going to take care of your property. And it's you I'm looking at. You're not going to be a slumlord no more. You're not going to categorize yourself as a slumlord. So as you look here, we're going to build the software. So now we're going to build the software. Now look, first thing you're going to do is you're going to need a work email. Now, you guys can get a work email from anywhere. And it doesn't have to be like one of the ones you buy. It can literally be one of like a Gmail one that you're currently already using. So, right now I'm just gonna go ahead and just create like an email. I'm gonna use myself, and then I'll just name it boom boom boom, and we're gonna sign up. So as we get here, it's gonna want me to they're gonna email me a code. Let me see if I can access that code. And yes, I have that code. And guess what? That code is going to expire by the time I upgrade this video. So I'm not gonna blur anything. Boom, boom, boom. Full name, let's just say CJ. Don't ask me where I got Jadera Smith from. It's just a random name, just for testing purposes. CJ, what's the password going to be? It's going to be none of your business. All right. And then boom, there we go. Right here. This is our site. Basically says, boom, this is your site. Atomic Man team, whatever. Now, you might not want that to be anymore. You see, let's just say I want to name it CJ Aku. Oh, sorry. Let's say I want to name it CJ Aku, like all that is available. Boom. So you can change that. Remember that you don't have to go with the one they created by chance. So as we let that create, basically we're actually creating. So basically you're kind of like creating your site. This is all for free, by the way, by chance. All right. So it's gonna ask you what type of work do you do. Now let's just select operations, because this is kind of, so this is, because what we're doing is kind of operations, right? So we are the landlord, right? / the property manager, because we actually want to manage our own properties and we don't want to pay anybody because we want to cut the cost. So we are the property manager. So we're going to go to operations. That's what we're going to do. And then, or pause. You can go to operations, human services. You could do IT support too. And you can also do customer service. So let me see. Or you can just do other. It doesn't even matter per se. Because we just want to make sure that we're getting things done. So let's just say IT support, right? Because with IT support is also like kind of the same thing. Somebody puts an IT task in, they want the IT person to be on it ASAP, but we're not going to be on it ASAP because your situation is a P4 and it's not a priority one. Guys, when you're dealing with tenants and they're calling you, you must deal with them like a P1, P2, P3, P4. If you guys do not know what P1 to P4 SL it is, I want you guys to actually understand what that is. Basically, SLA stands for service level agreements. We typically use it. We typically use this in the IT field, the IT world, you name it, and it's like priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4. So you guys should categorize things within priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4. If you end up actually saying to yourself that, oh, a tenant calls and they say, hey, my toilet is flooding the bathroom. Guys, that is a P1. That is a priority 1. You need to resolve that within the next hour or two. If this is a P2, for example, would be, hey, the faucet of my sink just broke. That is a P2, because guess what? They need that fixed within the next 3 to 4 or 5 hours, because they either got to brush their teeth before going to bed, but guess what has to be solved today? A P3 in the rental property world would be an example of, hey, my floor lifted up. My floor is just broke. Or, hey, I have a hole in the wall. That's a P3. And a P4 would be, hey, the light bulb in the basement went out. That's a P4. If you guys like that breakdown, just, yeah, thank you. So, as you see here, so what we have here is your name of your first project. You could just say rental properties and get started. Where this is more incident related, support related. Now, you're just gonna click finish, but this is how we want to track it. Now, this is not the main part. The main part is gonna come from the Jira Service Management. That is, so the Jira Service Management is something where they put you on like a day trial, like a 30-day trial. But after the 30 days, you don't pay anything, because what we're going to create is something that's going to look really like, trust me, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to click right here. So we're going to click here, and we're going to actually look for Jira Service Management. So once you look at, boom, customer service management, marketing service management, legal service management. They have different service management, guys, like as you guys can see. But we're gonna do Jira Service Management. We're not gonna click any of these three because there's a specific template I actually do want you guys to personally use. So we're just gonna go ahead and click Try It Now. We're gonna go ahead and click Next. All right, so you see how it says IT support, IT operations, HR, and facilities, and they have, you can view more. We're gonna click facilities because facilities, think of facilities as like the people in a big, in your organization, or if you work for the government, think about the people who fix your HVAC. A lot of government buildings, won't lie, your HVAC system is pretty old and needs to be replaced sometimes, and it's always breaking down. Sorry, don't ask me how I know, but don't ask me how I know. But we're gonna treat this like this facilities because this is a rental property. Majority of the situations that are coming in from the tenant are typically situations like we're working in a facility. So I'm gonna click Get Started. So what it's actually doing is actually adding all the services and collections and everything like that. Now, if now there's two ways to kind of categorize this, and there's two ways to create this. And what I'm going to show you is, as it sees right here, it's going to say, hey, add a payment detail, this and that. You don't have to. I've never in my life did. So you get unlimited agents, advanced incident, and 24-hour support. You're just going to go ahead and click Get Started. So as you see here, this is actually your facility support. So what I want you guys to do is you're going to click these three dots and you're going to click Project Settings. When you click Project Settings, right, per se. Now, as you guys can see here, this is Facility Report. Now, let's just say rental tenant management, or let's just say tenant maintenance portal, right? This is Jira Service Management, and so you have different categories. You can leave that blank. Then you have this project lead. It's going to be just leave it unassigned, or you could just put the project lead, and you yourself are the project lead. The type of team that will be using this, what you want to do, you want to click facilities. That's exactly how you want to do, because what it's going to do is going to set up your project like facilities per se. And then what you want to do is you want to click save. And then, so here you have your summary. So your summary is going to show you all the things that's in there, from priorities, from the highest priority, high priority, medium, low, and the lowest priority. And also, you're also going to have people access, project permissions, customer permissions, and work item security. So now that you have actually created this specific portal, this specific maintenance, that was basically it. So when we go to here, when we go to project permission, right, you get to see the permissions that everybody's in. When you go to people with access, this is typically for you yourself, but the main one is going to be customer permission. So as you guys can see, it says restricted. You want to take that restriction and put to open. Now, here's the reason why, is because you want it to be open. Let's just say you have a tenant, they're not there, and let's say their cousins at the crib, and they want their cousins to put in the information. They can send the cousin the link. That's it. So now you may ask yourself, how does this look? Guys, here, right here is the actual portal for your link. So what you're going to do is you're going to click this, and then boom, That's it. You're basically done. This is your portal. Now, this is hasn't been customized. I'm gonna show you guys an example of what mine looks like per se. So I'm gonna show you guys. Sorry, that's if I can show you guys what mine looks like. Yeah. So as you can see here, this is exactly what mine personality looks like. So mine's actually customized, and so and it's the guys is the same thing. This is very nice, very easy, straightforward. As you're gonna see here, and as you saw what I just did, I actually signed in. That's for the tenant. So the tenant can sign in. Each tenant can create their own account in this specific portal. It's a portal. So and and basically everybody can actually see like if they have any open requests. They can look at like if they had any closed requests, done requests, and pending to do. These are ones that I did like as a tester for this account when I first created it. If my tenants actually log in here, they can actually see the list of all the requests. And like let's say it was like a light bulb or like the key broke into the doorknob and we had to replace it, things of that matter. So we're gonna go back to the one we just created. So when we go back to the one we just created, I'm just gonna keep that one open over there just for testing purposes. So this is typically how you guys just literally create your own maintenance software for free. And it was that quick. Like it was quicker than you thought it was. Now, how this works is let's say, for example, they want to report an issue, right? So let's just say, for example, now when you actually give this to like a random person to sign in, right? What's gonna happen is they're gonna is basically once they sign it is their report. So they're gonna have their own account. So their account name is gonna show here, and then they're gonna say, okay, what is the maintenance issue that needs attention? So let's say toilet is clogging. Toilet is clogging, and the water is flooding the bathroom, which is never good. Now, they said, what type of maintenance issue is it? Let's just say, hey, now, we can say this is a safety hazard because it is. If somebody slips and falls because of this situation, even though they are the ones who caused the issue, they can still sue you. So let's just say this is a safety hazard, or let's just say this is a major repair, right? We're just gonna say, we're gonna keep it simple, major repair. Now, let's say what type of location is this? Let's just say, for example, they lived in 1301, right? And then the toilet is flooding the floor. Then it boom, as we see here, it's going to say, what is the priority of the maintenance? So they can choose, okay, is this a high priority, this and that. And then the best part about it, you can drag and drop pictures if you want to hear in as well too. So let's just say, for example, clogged toilet, flooding bathroom. We're about to see some nasty pictures I don't want to see. Ew. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude, if they send you this, you better be at your rental property in like 2 minutes. So we're just gonna drag that here. Because if I saw this coming into my ticketing system, and here's the best part too. The best part about this is that it has an app. So Jira has their own app, and you can actually like see all this from your app, reply back to them through the app. It's very straightforward. So you can be on the go with this as well too. So boom, ticket has been submitted. What does that mean? Now, this is remember, this is the client's portal. They sign in, they do their thing. Now, what you're going to do is now you're going to actually go back to now, not go back. Let's say, for example, you get a notification. You're going to log into your Jira tracking portal. that you created. So we're going to go back to the project settings. So we're actually going to go ahead and click. Then as you can see here, it's very simple. Let's say you actually get to Jira, and this is the first thing that's going to pop up. One's going to pop up is rental properties. I created this so you can put like little things that you need to do. Let's say you went to go and fix the issue with the plumbing, or you're going to send out a specific handyman. And let's say, hey, the handyman said, hey, you're also going to replace this. You can put this in your to-do list in your rental portfolio that you created right here, which is your project section. But what we're going to do is once the tenant actually sends the actual request, you can automatically see it says what's open is 1 ticket. What is assigned to me? 1 ticket. So as you can see here, we want to go ahead and click open. And as you can see, it shows automatically like, hey, this is a maintenance issue. And it's going to tell you like when it's time for you to resolve it. And what you can actually do is you can say, okay, boom, now it's in progress. When you say it's in progress, when you refresh this, it automatically is going to request, it's automatically going to let the tenant know that their ticket is now in progress, right? If you say in review, is going to change from in progress to pending, because it's pending here. We just changed the pending, and it's going to show you when it's going to show the tenant when it changed to progress, when it changed to, and when it actually changed to pending. So toilet is clogging and the water is flooding the bathroom. Lord have mercy. Maintenance side, this is a major repair. What's the location? 1301 U Street. What's the description? The toilet is flooding the floor. This is a very high priority. We're going to take a look at the picture. Oh my goodness. Dude, if you see that, you got to go to your property immediately. So what you can actually do, you can actually reply back to the customer. So what you can actually do is say, okay, now you could tell the person, you can draft a reply. That's the best part about AI now, especially generative AI. This is generative AI. If you don't know, there's a difference between different AI platforms, but we're not going to get into that in this video, different video. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So anyways, what we're going to do is, it doesn't have any suggestions. As you can receive more work items similar to this one, we'll have a better, provide better results. Okay, so we don't want to send that to the customer. So what we're going to say is sending a handyman person quickly. They should be there in 5 minutes. Boom. So once you send that, you go back to your request, and then automatically, and mind you, this is real time as well, so it doesn't waste time. So as you can see there, boom, sending handy-manny. And then let's say the tenant now texts you back and says, say, hi, it has been 2 hours and the water is still leaking and there is no handy-manny. What is going on? This is kind of the best part, because we don't want tenants to keep calling our phone numbers, even though yes, they might still call. But if you actually prioritize using this specific software the most, and you here's the thing, you want to give them the expectation that you're going to respond faster through this specific customer service desk portal than you picking up that call. If you continue to actually set that boundary, trust me, it will work. It's all about setting boundaries. So, okay, now let's reply back to the customer. Let's see if AI can, so it still can't drop the reply. So with that, that is literally how this will be the best solution ever to get your free software. So that's, guys, this is how you can actually create your own like tennis maintenance support portal for free whatsoever. Now, I do know it does say 30 days left here. Guys, once that trail ends, you're gonna get downgraded to the free version. Everything that we have used here is the free version, 100%. And now it does say premium support, like get 24/7, but that's getting 24/7 from like the actual like company team. Guys, this is very simple to use. If you follow every single step that I just showed you in here, it's gonna be very easy. Like, it's simple. And please do not add any payment. Do not add any single payment, because you do not need to pay anything. I have not paid anything for about over a year. So, with that being said, this is how you can actually save money and not spend money on any software. So, you guys, you get Stessa for free. You create your own tenant maintenance tracking system. Stessa does all your online collection and listing all your properties. And if you want to do your simple screening, you literally do your simple screening through TransUnion. And if you don't want to do it through TransUnion, right, it's $25. If you do want to, you can go ahead and do the screening through Stessa as well too. And with that one, I mean, it's only $29. But if you're really conservative and you really want to save $4, you can go ahead and use TransUnion. I personally would use TransUnion. But with this one, you do the screening only, $29. And to be honest, you could do both the application and the screening through here, and go ahead and really just say, you know what, I don't want to use TransUnion. I'll just use this one, Stessa, and that's it. So really, you're going to be really using only two softwares. That's it. And literally, that is how you literally create your own tenant portal easily. All right, guys. So that is literally how you can actually create your, well, that's actually how you can actually get your so-called free rental software. So today, guys, we use TransUnion. So that one is for actually submitting background checks. We use Stessa, where you can actually use that to actually list all your rental properties per se. Now, and we also use Jira to actually track down maintenance and different requests. 9 times out of 10, you kind of find yourself really in the process of using Stessa, but mostly Jira, right? So, if you're a slumlord, you're going to be using Jira a lot. If you are a, if you're not a slumlord, you're probably going to find yourself not too much into Jira. Please always make sure you make your tenants and your rental properties bulletproof. Now, that is the best software I will say you guys can get for free without having to pay any dime, and you're welcome. But if you guys do want me to make a full tutorial of how you can just repeat the Jira and create the software one more time, if you want to make like a more longer video, I can do that for you guys as well too. But typically, that's all you guys are going to need to really get into your first rental property and have a rental software without having to pay all these other big name brands. But if you guys are flexible and you guys are willing to actually kind of take the time and really just real quick, just use two softwares at once or three to do a few things, and you guys are good at multitasking, then this is the right one for you, especially if you're trying to cut costs, right? And I understand that in real estate, we're always trying to cut costs. I try everything possible to cut costs. So that is literally what I use. And I think to this day, I'm still using it because I just like to just cut costs. So, but guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you please like, subscribe, and we're going to catch you in the next video. Peace.